Okay, my friends, I hope you all are doing well with animating your walk cycle, your character, if you were to be able to play it. Let's see what if I can play it right here. You can see him walking across, well, not even across the stream, but going through the steps. A little bit choppy because I've got what I called an eco warrior, and they've got different types of legs. So it's going to be a little bit choppy. What I've done here on my layers in my timeline is I put a foreground, middle ground, and a background. I put my character on the top. So I just kind of dragged it from here to the top. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in a background. But the background is going to be, it's not going to move. I'm going to put in a new color in the background. Let me see if I can find out a color that I like. Let's see here. 184. Let's just, there we go. I'm going to go with that and put that in the background. And so what I want to show you how to do is move the background or the elements in the background, the midground and foreground, across the screen and loop it so that it'll be able to loop just like the character is looping in the steps. So I'm going to shrink this a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I want to put in a static background, and I'm going to just kind of collect out some of my colors. Let's see here. I'm going to get this to be 0 here. And I'm going to put in a little darker color for the ground. So let's see here, like this. This will be my ground. Let's see here. Shrink that down a little bit. Oops, get that to fit in there. There's that'll be somewhat my ground. And then I'm going to put kind of an intense color in the background. So I'm going to make it, let's see, make it a little bit brighter. Okay. I don't know what that is here. Let's get this out of here. And I'm going to put in a little bit of a, let's see, I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. It's going to be like the horizon line. So I'm going to put it close to there. And I'm going to actually duplicate this. No. I'm going to duplicate this. Command D, put that above it. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. Oops, undo. Let's get this. I'm going to raise it up. And I am going to darken it a little bit. So I'm going to go here and just kind of darken it with my palette choices here. There we go. That's a little bit too dark, maybe. It's too much like the background. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks better. And I'm going to duplicate that even more. Command D. And stretch that even further up. Oops. And I'm going to darken that even a little bit as well. I might have to see if that works out all right there. All right, so this is what I have now. I want to also put a sun in the background, so I'm going to put that as bright as I can get it. And I'm going to do an ellipse, and I'm going to kind of hold in my shift key so it's kind of balanced. Put that sun right back there. That looks good. All right, so now I've got my background. Next thing I want to do is I want to do my midground, and my midground is going to be, it's going to move. So I'm going to put a keyframe in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a couple of clouds that are going to move across the screen. So let me see if I can find a slightly different, darker color for clouds. Let's see here. I'm going to be making it transparent, so that might work good. So I'm going to use a brush about this size. Let's see here. Undo. I'm going to put right about here. I'm going to put right on the right on the horizon line. I'll put a cloud, and I'll put a cloud right about here. So I'm just putting 2 clouds in right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these 2 clouds. I'm going to click on my selection key tool here. Hold on to my shift. I'm going to select both of those. And what I want to do is duplicate them. So I'm going to Command D or copy and paste, where I can go C and P. And that will put that right there. Oops. Let's see here. They got this. I'm going to hide my character while I'm doing that, so I don't do that again. So I'm going to take that and move it across, and I want them to be about the same height. Let's see, I want to push it so it's a little bit further across the screen. I think it's about close to the same height as the other one. Put it like that. And next thing I want to do is I want to select all 4 of them. Let me shrink my screen out. And I'm going to do another Command D. And this time I'm going to drag it and place it right over the other cloud, right here. I'm going to delete the top layer of that. So now I have 3 equally distanced sets of clouds. And what I want to also do here is I am going to highlight all of them. And I'm going to make my opacity about 50%. So now that's about 50%. And the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag out to animate it. Now that's locked. I'm going to lock this. I'm going to drag out to animate this to the same length as my character. Let's, come on, get it over there. There we go. And next thing I want to do is put my cursor, make sure it's in the first frame, click on Add Tween. And so now you can see it's highlighted it. It's basically creating a clip out of it. And then go to my last frame. And what I want to do is I want to click on the back end clouds right here. And I want to click and drag them so they overlap the previous sets of clouds. And I want to kind of go right over them, a little bit less than it, or to the right of it slightly. And I'll put it right there. And so if I play it, you'll see it goes across the screen and it replaces it. Oops, you know what I need to do here? I need to extend my background as well. Let's get that extended so you can see that. So now put the background, and you can see now how the clouds start to replace each other. All right, so now let's imagine I have in the foreground here, put a keyframe in there. Just imagine I have a building. So I'm going to put a building in there. It's going to be a darker building. So I'm going to put something like that. And I'm going to have a stroke of 1. And let's see, that's going to be even darker. There we go. So there's this, there's this. Let's move this a little bit like that. So now I'm going to go and draw my building in there in the background. And it's going to move across the screen even faster. So let's just say, let's make it like this. Let's make it like that. And let's give it a smokestack, just like I've had others have smokestacks. Or let's get a, maybe I'll have a couple of buildings here. A couple of smokestacks, maybe even some smoke coming out of there. Let's see what I can do here. If I can grab and let's put some smoke in there. So that gets coming out. Let me make it lighter, a little bit lighter. And let's get rid of the stroke. Let's make sure there's no stroke. Let's see here. Brush size, stroke. It's not giving me a chance to choose that. All right, so the brush size, we're just going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of here and here. So we have 2 2 smokes, and I'm going to also make that about 50%. All right, now what I want to do, I'm going to hide everything in the background and the midground, and I'm going to hide the character there. And I'm going to choose my select tool, highlight it, copy and paste it, copy and paste, and oops, undo, undo, undo. What did I just do now? So I want to copy and then paste. There we go. And place it, I'm going to place it a little bit off screen here. Try to place it at the same level that this set is. And what I can do is I can click on there and I can see what level is it. It's at negative 13.6. So now I'm going to go over here, select it, and go to 11, negative 13.6. And that's going to be at the same level. Now what I can do is drag this out. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to the first frame. I'm going to add a motion tween or an add tween. And then I'm going to go to the last frame. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag this out until it matches or comes right close to it. Actually, to the right of it just slightly because I don't want it to stop. So there we go. Now, when I put my character in there, my clouds, and my background, if you watch what happens now, let's go to, oops, my background's not animating. Let's see here, something's wrong here. My foreground, let's see here, midground. That's my midground. Let's go back to the, here. Let's move that again. All right. There we go. So now what we do is we have the clouds and the smokestacks going across. And I'm not quite liking it. I can do some more adjustments, but you can see they completely replace each other. So what I'm going to do here is let me move my foreground. Yeah. I'm going to take this character. I'm going to make an adjustment. Double click on it, and I'm going to make it further away. So I'm using my right hand key or my key. Oops, that's funny. That just did that. All right. And I might have to adjust it again here. Let's just kind of see. There we go. That looks pretty good. And it's going to continue to loop and replace each other. And that's all you have to do. Good luck. I'll try to show you this in class as well. All right.